Can't get the play off in time, and I'm going to wager the call's going to come in much quicker, Brock, for this next snap.
On one, ready?
So they should be a little prompter in snapping this, you'd hope, Brock, after that delay of game. They'll run here following the penalty. And they needed more than one defender. Their powerful runner stopped for just 1 yard.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical...
Here's 2nd and 14. Completed to his running back. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Derek
down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and netted some positive yards.
On 3rd down, here's Burrow. Heaves this one for the back of the end zone. And he will score. It's a Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals take a 6-0 lead right away. So no mistaking that play call, Brock. They send everybody on deep goes, and it winds up paying off. What a play.
And you'd think on the other side, defensively, they'd be ready for this. But this is truly a breakdown in the secondary. They're just not able to make a play on the ball in the air. And the end result, as you said, a big play and a touchdown.
Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. It's an excellent return, but he gets popped at the end of it. First and 10 now from the 30. Right up the gut. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few. He got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Pass play now. The left side is caught by Pitts. And they're going
to... Kate, even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
3rd and long for him here. He's throwing deep to the left side. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Couldn't find Kyle Pitts on that throw. And that brings up 4th and long. It'll be a punt coming up for the Desperados. Called for and received. Fair catch this time, but, oh, hang on. Flag down. Well, if there's an avoidable penalty, Brock, that's probably it. He just didn't let him make the fair catch, and that's going to help their field position considerably. A chance to get off the field goes by the wayside. The defensive penalty keeps him out there. First down, Burrow to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. They were looking for him again, Brock, and for a moment, we thought he had another catch, but then that contact knocked the football from his hands.
Kind of become a victim of his own early success. Not too different, Kate, than a pass rusher that gets a sack. You know what happens? Got to slide to him, got to chip to him. You get a receiver that gets it going like this, you know more contact and more focus is coming his way.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Give now to the running back. Past midfield to the 45. And they'll finally bring him down at the 22. How about a big hitter? 30, 40 yards there and a new set of downs.
Best run games in this league at balance. Can run it inside, and as they just showed right there, doing damage on the outside.
Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. On first down, here's Burrow. He's got the Cincinnati touchdown. McPherson at the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Bengals drive out to an early 14-0 lead. McPherson on to handle the kickoff. That's going to be taken in at the 8. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Running this one left. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. He's got it over the middle. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them. And the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board.
And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. Got every single bit of that one, didn't he? Over 70 yards on the punt. And it'll be Bengals football. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here we go. Burrow out of the shotgun. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he reaches the 35 before going out. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be 1st down, Bengals. They're set up at the 35 now. They'll run here on 1st down. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. We've reached the end of the first quarter of Super Bowl 62. Our score, 14-0. Back to Miami in just a moment. Welcome back, all. Second quarter of Super Bowl 62 just moments away. They have second down behind the sticks. He puts some power on a deep one left. He's got it inside the 25. And he's going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati! The Bengals take a 20-zip lead. One after, up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals stretch their lead to 21. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. This return starts at the 5. The tackle's made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 37. And that one's unsuccessful. Looking for his wide receiver there. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Now looking to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down. Their punter making his way out now. Absolutely crushed his first punt, and here's another huge one. Now he starts from the 6. And he gets him what he can, but still pretty deep in their own territory starting out. The kicking team got downfield quickly there. He didn't manage much on the return. And it'll be their football. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Burrow from the gun. Throw left side, complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset. 1st and 10 now. Here's Burrow. This is brought in along the sideline. High degree of difficulty for a short gain. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. That one way too far up there. They can't connect.
Defensive coaches in the NFL say it all the time. Limit the big play. Keep these guys in front of you. Well, this defense is going to have to stay vigilant because this receiver, he could take the lid off a defense at any time.
To throw again, it's Burrow. Nice work by the back here. Playing safety valve, complete.
Awareness. Kate, you hear me and so many others talk about it a lot with quarterbacks, but it's critical for every unit on a football field. And for the defense right there, to have an awareness of knowing where the marker was and to make sure that completion wasn't going to move the chains.
And a big hit on the return to stop it cold. Called that a bunch of 47 yards. And they're going to take over possession. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. Pitts brings it in. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset. Only one play in, Brock, and this drive already to midfield. On first down, they'll run. And he has this one past the 50 and will start downhill into Bengals territory. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
From the 45 on 2nd down. And he's not quite that fast. Led him just a bit too much. That's incomplete. That throw is looking for Kyle Pitts. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. Looking for a throw here. Pitts is running back. And he's a yard or two shy of the 30 before going out. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
They've got first down from the 31. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finds his back complete. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. We are at the 2-minute warning. The Desperados with the football. To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. And he's still looking for the play that sparks the ground game as that one stopped for a loss.
Kid, I'll never forget walking into the Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney's meeting room with those defensive linemen. The late, great John Tierlink, his coach, he had a little sign up in his office, and it was sacks, and that money sign was the S, because ends and D linemen make their money with sacks. But you win games when they stop the run like that for a tackle for loss.
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Touchdown! On is Cade York for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Desperados get it back to a 14-point game. On now is York to kick this one away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out on the back of the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Burrow setting to throw. And after all that, he still can't get rid of it. They get there and drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. Trying again, following the sack. Brought in right side. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
To the right side and reeled in by Chase. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Enough waiting, let's crown a champion, shall we? The second half of the Super Bowl is underway. Has this at the 6. He stopped on the return at the 27. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Hand off to the back. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 28. A lot of players around this one, and it is intercepted. Keely Ringo picks it off. And the Bengals get the football back inside the 45-yard line after the interception. Well, you kind of had a feeling, Brock, that they were going to be passing early and often coming out of the locker room on the losing side of things, right? And that coverage, man, they knew it too. Right there to make a play on the very first throw.
Yeah, no doubt, I think in any of our minds, they knew a throw was coming defensively, and that's fine. You could know it's coming, but you got to then go out and execute and take it away. Played right into their hands, and now a chance to add to this lead.
Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up. Looking for the back that time. And it sets up second down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
That's incomplete. Trying to set up the screen there. This one intended for the running back. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Here he is on 3rd and long. Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. He'll throw it yet again. Completed to his running back. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gain 18 on the previous play.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. From the red zone now. He's on the move. And he makes the catch on the right sideline, but no. Oh, they call it out of bounds. The throw led him just a little bit too much.
Well, he had the space from the defender and the concentration to make a great catch. What he didn't have was enough end zone real estate. That's just a very, very exciting incompletion.
So the incompletion on 1st, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And the hit stuffs him cold. Wow, he maybe got back to the line. No pickup on that run, and it leaves them 4 yards out on 3rd and goal.
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. 1 down left before a big decision to make. Do you continue to try running it against a front that stopped you, or are you now forced to put the ball in the air?
Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. Here's Burrow. And he will score. It's a Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals push their lead further to start the half. Xavier Legette with the touchdown. Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals stretch their lead to 21. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. Finds a seam down the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Throwing now from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. And it's going to be 2nd down. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why. And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose. Has it at the 7. And he's in. Touchdown. The Desperados shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. Kyle Pitts with the touchdown. York tacks on that extra point. And the Desperados get it back to a 14-point game. Now is York to kick this one away. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Didn't make an effort to hit the landing area at all. So they're going to gift them a drive starting at the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Burrow out of the shotgun. Wow, his first real mistake. That's intercepted. Colson Adebo's got it. And the Desperados twist the knife after that interception. Wow, they took it all the way back to the 20-yard line before being stopped. You know what this is, Kate? This is the practice field coming to life. Really on both sides of the ball. Right, you watch defensive coaches preach all the time, and they work on these returns to get to the near sideline, everybody to get a block. And then for those offensive players to show the effort to go chase that down so it's not a pick six. Yeah, it stinks for the offense, but that was the practice field coming to life for everybody to see. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality, relentlessness, and his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside. Second and 13. And this one too far in front of him. It's incomplete. There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. They'll try and throw it here. Finds him over the middle. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped.
I know on the stat sheet, Kate, that shows up as passing yards, but any defensive coordinator will take it. Understanding down and distance and keeping that offense short of the sticks.
Looks like they will indeed try it, 4th and 2. Need a conversion, they're throwing for it. He's got it to his running back. That's a gain of 10, and staring at a turnover on downs, Brock, they pick up the first instead.
Oh, I love 4th downs. It just brings out the very best. And you get to see how you handle the most pressure, and it turns out they handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Plowing up the middle. Has them the touchdown. The Desperados pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
That one right down the middle. And the Desperados chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
Okay, the 2-yard run on 1st down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule, but you're going to have to pick up the pace.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 32. Finds his target, Mason. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
That just might be a throw he regretted as soon as you let it go. I know that feeling. He was doing all he could to find a completion down the field, but they were all over that check down and ready to turn it into a negative play.
On 3rd down, here's Burrow. And that one is picked off, but wait a second. Oh, he came down out of bounds, so that's just going to be incomplete. The Bengals send out the punting unit. And he's getting the call for the 2nd time this game. He takes the fair catch at about the 26-yard line. So no return on that punt. And it's going to be their football coming up. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Here's the give. And he'll bowl his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a 1st down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Running back, motioning right. From the 31. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. So we've hit the end of 3 in Super Bowl 62. They've got the ball. Need to challenge that lead, though, for a chance at the title. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Trying the right side. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
The humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Here's 2nd and 5. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. From midfield now. He's got time here. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
As we're into the 4th quarter, we know this. We know that money down could not be any more important than right now. Both sides are certainly fatigued. You feel it in both their play. But battling through what's been a physical contest all game long, going to be the key here down the stretch.
Offense staying out there. Look at this. They're trying 4th and 9. Back to throw. Pitts brings it in. How about 19 yards on 4th down, and the call to go for it pays off considerably.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
They're set up at the 35 now. They hand this one off. And he drives into a pile of defenders and is stopped right at the line. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10. He'll throw it. Finds a man right side. And he's short of the first after a mile gain.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. He's back to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. They get an even 10 on that play. And they'll have first down. Going ground here. And he runs into a wall there. Multiple defenders ready to stop him cold at the line. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Here's a throw. Short pass brought in. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Here's a give on 1st and goal. And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. Call it no gain that time, and they'll have 2nd and goal.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on first down. More to come.
It's the 2-minute warning from Miami. Desperados losing by 7. Trying again from the 2. It's 2nd and goal. He gets it headed right. And he's not going to reach the end zone. They bring him down at the 1. Keeping that pace going as the clock continues to run. 3rd and goal, right back to him. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
It's after plays like these, Kate, I love to study the body language. What is that offense doing after getting stuffed inside on a run like that? And more importantly, how much does it energize that defense?
We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. As they'll get together and discuss with fourth down coming up. To throw. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown. The Desperados cut it to a point late in this one. And he hits that point after, so we're all set up for a heck of a finish here. We're tied in the final frame of the Super Bowl. On now is York to kick this one away. Return coming from the 6. He stopped on the return at the 27. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Back to throw. This is reeled in by Leggett. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
Oh, the football's loose. And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play.
Well, sure, you're looking to try to get a first down on 2nd down. You're trying to create a manageable 3rd down, but I'll tell you what you're not trying to do, ever, is give the ball away. And that's what the offense does to the defense right there.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Here he is to throw. Hits his running back. And they get there to take him down right around the 41.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. 3rd and short in your back pocket. You can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Trying the handoff. Into the 2nd level past the 30. And he has this all the way down to the 14-yard line. He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28.
Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, well, let's give them a little love right here, Kate. They don't always get the attention they deserve on a broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
And now they call the timeout. Oh, Brock, what a play to get him into range. And now they can win it all as time expires. Every eye in this place now staring directly at Cade York. And with 2 seconds remaining in our contest, we're going to see what both teams decide to do with this final play. The entire game now resting on the right foot of this kicker. From the left hash, about 31 yards out. The kick is good. He got it. And we've crowned a new champion. They just won the Super Bowl. The commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell, making an appearance now to present the Lombardi Trophy to this incredible group. Super Bowl 62 champion.
I wanna try to beat the force. I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more? 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 Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more?
Don't be afraid of the bounce. See when your things levels got changed to your mouth. How can I walk in doubt? Never been a beg, never been a loud mouth. pen can go for days. I'm obsessed with it, can't change my ways. So blessed with it, what can I say? Top form staying in shape.
You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more.
I'm gonna run it up, though you know your fun is up. James knew back when I was coming up, didn't wanna know then. Now I bet they loving us no more. No, R&R's, the bar is raised. If you know me, know I can bar for days. Nothing there to prove, cause I've done enough. Lights out, still gonna keep the torch. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more?
You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more. Show you look a piece, wanna see